Ready, Scott?
Hang on just a second, so they can see.
All stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come here this evening, and please give us the wisdom to make the best decisions for Eastern Green, the students at Eastern Green schools, and it's in your Son's name we ask these things. Amen. Meeting called to order at 7:35. Participation at school board meetings. The board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express concerns regarding agenda items. Comments will be limited to board meeting agenda items with a time limit of 3 to 5 minutes. Does anyone have any public comment on any board agenda item? Alrighty. It is recommended that the agenda for the June 14th, 2021 meeting be approved as presented with additions, corrections, or deletions as recommended by the board. Do I have a motion for that? Scott Carmichael, second. Sharon Apps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0. It is recommended that the minutes from the May 10th, 2021 meeting be approved as presented. Do I have a motion? Sharon Apps, seconded by Mike Adams. All those in favor?
I have to abstain.
Oh, that's
I
right.
wasn't here.
Okay.
I'm excused.
Pass 4-0-1. Approval of claims. It's recommended that the claims numbers 13569 through
13686.
be approved as presented. Do I have a motion? Mike Adams, seconded by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0. All right.
My turn. I'm making a recommendation tonight for the board to approve the Hope Alight Consulting Agreement as presented. Just to give some information to our crowd here, plus anybody watching. Hope Alight is a company that specializes in social emotional learning. So this is the company that we are going to use next school year for social emotional learning training for all of our staff. And when I say all of our staff, that's going to not just be teachers, but we're going to trickle that down to pretty much anybody who's going to have some ongoing contact with students. So for example, bus drivers. Often our bus drivers are the first adults kids see during the day and the last one they see at the end of the day. So we're going to get them some training on, it's basically, it's trust-based relational interventions, and the idea of trauma, and the trauma really affects all of us. And I've understood that teachers get as much out of this training for themselves as they do for their students. So I'm really looking forward to being able to provide this for our staff. So I'm making that recommendation to the board.
Do I have a motion? Scott Carmichael, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. I'm recommending to approve the city pest control schedule of charges as presented. This is a switch from who we've been using for our pest control. We kind of shopped around, always looking to get good service, but also save the corporation some money, and I believe this contract does both of those, so I'm recommending to make that switch.
Do I have a motion? Heather Hudson, second. Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. We need to approve meal prices again, and this is just for adult meals. Next year, students are still going to be free, but we had a price change that we approved last month for adult meals, but the state put out some different numbers that made Megan, our food director, have to look at those prices again, and those had to be raised a little bit based off of what the state numbers were. So we need to approve those as presented to the board, please.
Do I have a motion? Sharon Epps. Second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. This next one goes along with the Hope Alight consulting agreement. In order for us to create a PD plan for staff that isn't going to take major time after school and take people away from their families and extracurricular events they want to see their kids in, we really need to do this during school time. Since we really don't have PD time anymore from the state, and they used to let you take half days and things like that, we have to try to figure out the best way to do this. So I am recommending to the board that we amend next year's calendar to have September 15th and September 22nd as planned e-learning days for the 21-22 school year. It's something that a lot of schools do nowadays. If they have the access to be able to do e-learning, they try to plan some of these for staff development. So that's what I would like to recommend to the board.
I have a motion. Mike Adams. Second. Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. And we will have more details, obviously, for families and teachers of how those e-learning days are going to look. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've experienced in the past, where teachers were free to do kind of synchronous learning and have Google Meets and things like that. Well, they're going to be doing training during the day, so it'll look a little bit different, but I believe it'll be very effective for our kids. So more details to come on that.
And I was going to say something real quick.
Please.
The agenda looks a little bit different than it usually does. The board as a whole decided that we wanted to go away from the personnel report and go back to voting on each item individually. So there will be a few more votes and no personnel report for the foreseeable future.
Thank you for that. That's good. So next up, we have extracurricular activities. Mr. Buskirk is recommending, as well as I am, that we approve an athletic fee of $30 per student. That would be a one-time fee for the entire year. So if you play 3 sports, you're not getting charged $30 for each sport. It's a one-time $30 fee. That's an athletic fee. It's going to help pay for some things like Final Forms that he's using now, and some other software that we have purchased that helps the athletic department, things like that. But even for things beyond that, we're hoping that we don't always have to charge this. In the future, we can maybe do away with it, but I know it's kind of went back and forth over the years of whether we've had this or not. But Mr. Buskirk felt that it was time to bring it back for at least a year, and we'll reevaluate it from there, but I am making that recommendation.
Have a motion. Scott Carmichael. Second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. And I guess I'll say one other thing about that too. I don't want anybody thinking that the $30 fee is going to keep any student from participating in athletics. If that $30 fee is an issue, we will figure things out, and students will be able to participate. So it's not going to keep students from participating. So I want to make sure we.
How much will that generate?
I'm not sure at this point. I mean, it's going to be a decent amount of money from the amount of kids we have that participate, because this would be middle school through high school. So.
And they're giving them a sports pass also.
Correct. Thank you, Marilyn. Yeah, they're getting a students getting a sports pass to get into any athletic event also. So, but I can get you.
No,
$100,000 probably.
Next up, we have a recommendation to approve the purchase of new middle school risers for the choir classes. Total amount of the purchase is $5,133. Corporation is paying $2,000 of that. ECA will pay the remaining $3,133. Just to give you an idea, the ECA Middle School Choir and Strings Fund currently has a balance of a little over $11,000. So, however, I know that they could very well pay for all of that themselves, but the corporation has helped out, for example, athletics with some things over the past year or two. I feel it's only right that we help out all of our other disciplines also, so that's why we're helping them out with that.
Do I have a motion? Sharon Epps, a second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Recommending to approve a middle school esports ECA fund. We're very excited to be able to take the esports down into the middle school now. We already have a fund and a team set up at the high school, so now we just need to set up a fund where we can put funds for entering competitions and things like that for the middle school. So I make that recommendation.
I have a motion. Scott Carmichael, second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Next up, we have some donations. Recommending to approve the anonymous donation of $500 for the middle school Thunderbird Academy of Performance program in memory of Rick Hudson.
Do I have a motion? Scott Carmichael, second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
We have some high school donations. We have Sam's Club donating 100 8-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer. David Hughes of the Greene County Beekeepers Association donating apiary equipment.
Motion, Mike Adams. Second, Sharon Epps. I have to say it was an awesome sight for me to see beekeepers up there next to the track the other day. I don't know if you knew that, Mike, but they've got some beehives set up next to the track, and I saw some, I assume it was students and a sponsor up there in beekeeping suits the other day. It was pretty cool to see.
Yep.
All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Was that to motivate our track kids going back?
Yeah. I was just saying,
Run from the bees.
honey and speed. Yeah.
Next up, some resignations. This one I don't, like most of our resignations, I don't want to do this one, but I guess we'll let her go. We have a recommendation to approve the resignation of Gina Henderson as Corporation Deputy Treasurer / Payroll Clerk effective July 2nd. Some of you may know, you may not know, Gina and her family are moving to Arizona for a job opportunity, and my jaw about hit the floor when Gina came and told me. But what I told her was that I just want people to be happy. I want our, as hard as it is for somebody to leave, I want our staff to do what they feel is best for them. So it's going to be hard to see Gina go, but it's what's best for her and her family. And I know my little dog's going to miss her.
See what your dog gonna do.
I know. Well, I think what Gina did, she already told my daughter that she has to set up Millie her own Facebook account. So anyway, I make that recommendation.
I have a motion. Mike Adams. Second, Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
We're making a recommendation to approve the resignation of Darlene Lewis as custodian / bus driver effective June 8th.
Do I have a motion? Heather Hudson. Second, Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Have a recommendation to approve the resignation of Michaela Anthony as middle school teaching assistant.
Have a motion, Mike Adams, second, Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
So it looks like that's all of our resignations. Just want to say thank you to all of those staff members for their just, their years of service and all the wonderful things they've done for Eastern. So next up, some employment. Motion to approve the hiring of Sarah Tharp to cover 6th grade English language arts maternity leave.
Do I have a motion? Scott Carmichael, second, Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. Making the recommendation to approve the hiring of Jim Dwyer to cover 5th grade maternity leave.
Have a motion for that? Heather Hudson, second, Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Recommending to approve the hiring of Jody Patton for special education self-contained teaching assistant for 28 hours per week. That would be at the middle school. That is for a 6th grade classroom.
Have a motion for that? Heather Hudson, second, Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to some middle school ECA athletics. Motion to approve the hiring of the following people for middle school cross country. Tracy Crane, assistant cross country coach. Jesse Crane, boys girls head cross country coach. And Keisha Blaze, volunteer cross country assistant.
Do I have a motion for that? Scott Carmichael, second, Heather Hudson. Sounds like a great coaching team. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
We have a recommendation to approve hiring the following people for middle school football. Chad Schultz, head football coach, and Brad Deckard, assistant football coach.
Have a motion for that? Heather Hudson, second by Mike Adams. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Next, we have middle school cheerleading to recommend. We have Missy Schroyer as 5'6" cheer coach and Allison Clary, 7'8" cheer coach.
Have a motion? Sharon Epps, second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Have a recommendation to approve hiring Gina Ingram as 7'8" volleyball coach.
Have a motion? Scott Carmichael, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Okay, next up we have a recommendation to approve the hiring of Jamie Davis as 3rd grade teacher. This was an opening created with a leave requested by a 3rd grade teacher.
Okay, do I have a motion? Scott Carmichael, second by Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you for that. Next, we have a recommendation to hire Emily Strange as an instructional assistant. I believe that is at the elementary level.
Okay, motion by Heather Hudson, second by Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Next, we have a recommendation to approve the hiring of Samantha Deckard as a Kids Zone assistant.
Motion, Sharon Epps, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
And we have a recommendation to approve the hiring of Anita Cooper as an ELC instructional assistant.
Motion by Heather Hudson, second, Sharon Epps. those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Next up, we are recommending to approve Emily Black as junior class sponsor.
I have a motion for that one. Mike Adams, second by Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Making a recommendation to approve Michelle Hayes as the language arts department chair.
Have a motion for that one. Heather Hudson, second. Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
This next one, I'm glad that we finally have this complete. This is the last small little piece to the puzzle for having our special education rounded out, our team. We still needed some help with our physical therapy. We hadn't had anybody for that, but our physical therapy needs are as such that we really only needed about 1 day of service a week. Well, you're not going to hire somebody full-time for 1 day a week, and nor would anybody really want to say, well, yeah, I'll be a full-time person and leave another job for 1 day a week. So we had to get a little bit creative. I give all the credit to this to Lindsay Bailey, our incoming director of special education. She reached out to Karen Sims, who already provided our PT services as a PT assistant. She really wanted to continue doing the services here, but to be a PTA, you have to have a licensed PT over you as your supervisor to do that, because they have to do the PT, licensed PT has to do any evaluations of kids for physical therapy. The PTA can't do that. And then the PT has to show that they meet with the PTA and do some other things every few weeks. So I'm recommending that we contract with Barb Mitchell to be the PT and Karen Sims to be the PTA at a rate of $55 per hour for Barb, $35 an hour for Karen. They're both very agreeable to those rates. They feel it's very competitive with what they would be getting anywhere else. Barb Mitchell worked as a contracted PT for North Lawrence when the co-op was still together, so she knows obviously a little bit about Eastern from being kind of part of the co-op for a while. So with this recommendation, that rounds out our special education team. And while it was difficult the past year and a half with joint services disbanding, I feel it says a lot about Eastern, the amount of people that wanted to come work here. I mean, it was just like, hey, if you guys have any, even if you go with another co-op and they have openings, let us know. So they wanted to come work for Eastern, which I think is a testament to our staff. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you for getting here.
No problem.
So I would like to make the motion.
All right, motion by Sharon Apps, second by Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Okay, so here's the good news about Gina leaving, if there is any good news. So we did post the position of deputy treasurer and payroll clerk. We did have right away quite a few resumes came through, and we had some qualified people that I feel would have made a good person in that position. They would have needed a decent amount of training and things like that. And given more time, it could have worked out. Well, Mariah Crane, who held Gina's position before Gina, helped train Gina before she left, wrote the manual that Gina is using right now, decided she wanted to come back to Eastern and do that same job. And I was kind of like, it's a no-brainer to not hire the person back who, number one, did a great job when she was here, knows the job, can hit the ground running, and just pick up where we need her to with Gina leaving July 2nd, which is coming up very quick. So I'm recommending that we hire Mariah Crane to that position effective June 28th. I do want to bring her in a week before Gina leaves to let them work together a little bit. There are some things that Mariah needs to refresh her memory on. And once again, I think we really lucked out again in getting somebody as good as Mariah to come in and help us. So that's my recommendation.
I have a motion. Motion by Heather Hudson, second by Mike Adams. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. Next up, it's bus buying season. This is when we typically take a look at our purchasing options and go by our CPF plan, bus replacement plan. So I'm making the recommendation for the purchase of 2 78-passenger buses at $59,953 a piece, plus warranty costs, and a 14-passenger activity bus at $37,476. And once again, that's part of our bus replacement plan, and actually we're spending a little bit less than what we even had budgeted in the plan. But Dennis always goes out and does a great job at locating buses with low mileage that are used that fit our budget. So we're getting a good deal.
We have a motion for that. Heather Hudson. Second, Scott Carmichael. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, so we're ready for some late items. First up is high school cross country. Motion or recommendation to approve Bill Valentine for the boys and girls high school cross country head coaching position.
I have a motion. Heather Hudson. Second, Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have a recommendation to approve hiring Megan Birch as the elementary library facilitator.
I have a motion. Scott Carmichael. Seconded by Sharon Epps. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Next up, I've made the recommendation to the board that we create and post a third maintenance position. Right now, obviously, we have David Fields and Josh Slosher as our 2 maintenance men, but I feel we need a third position to help out with many different things we have going on in the corporation. Most of those are just answering things that need to be fixed often from a myriad of buildings and places and people. So we definitely need that help. I believe I'm going to pay for this position out of some of the ESSER funds that we are getting. That will help us, supplant and keep our budget where we need to. But I at least want to create it and post it and see what kind of applicants we have.
What's the salary?
I want to leave that for right now. I want to see what our applicants, what experience our applicants have, but I'm thinking somewhere between 30 and 40. And we'll evaluate based on their experiences and skills and that sort of thing.
We have a motion. Mike Adams. Second, Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thank you for that. That will be very much helpful. And our last late item is a recommendation to approve the donation of $25 to Eastern Green Athletics in memory of Rick Hudson.
We have a motion. Scott Carmichael. Second, Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Good. So next up we have discussion and information. I knew that Mr. Alt and Mrs. Gibney were not going to be able to attend tonight, but I know Mr. Kirkendall is here. Is there anything you want to report or?
Yeah, sure. Good evening. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the cicada drone that's going on. Just kind of wanted to update you a little bit about what's going on at the high school, and kind of give some thank yous. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Ms. Lehman and the landscape management classes. They did a very good job on doing some landscaping for the school. The new gravel sign that's at the corner of Sylvania Road was done by them, and it looks fantastic. So also would like to thank Ms. Rosenplot, our senior sponsor, for a fantastic graduation. She did a great job in planning all that, and of course all the help that she got from the staff, custodians, the maintenance crew. It was really nice to just kind of see it all kind of culminate into one really fantastic event. So I really appreciate all of her efforts. And then of course, currently right now we have our custodians and maintenance staff hard at work, cleaning our carpets and really doing a deep clean at the high school. There are a lot of new things kind of going on at the high school this summer. I just kind of wanted to run down some of them, like the digital school sign that we have up. It looks great. I know we have one side that still needs a little work, so we haven't taken it in for that. The ViewSonic boards are being installed. I know that the teachers are excited. A lot of teachers came back after the training, and we're kind of excited to start using those. So the dry storage closet in the cafeteria, I know the cafeteria staff is absolutely excited. They don't have to store stuff under the bleachers anymore. So just really, they're really happy about that. So thank you to everybody involved in that. We have new exterior locks also. One of the things that we started to realize is that there were former coaches and stuff who had exterior keys. So we went ahead and made sure to go with a lock set that could not be duplicated for our exterior locks. So just kind of adding to the security of the school during the summer and also during the school year. And then last but not least, here at the end of June, we're going to take a little bit of money to kind of update our security camera tree that we have going on there at the school. Hopefully get it off of an antiquated system and up to date. So, and then last but not least, and then I'm done for the night. Please keep Mr. Josh Schlosser in your thoughts and prayers. I know that he's kind of had some health issues, kind of come up and kind of surprise him. And I know I know the staff is very worried about him. I'm certainly worried about him, and I know that the community is too. So certainly kind of keep him in your thoughts and prayers. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirkendall. Just a second. At least one thing Mr. Kirkendall talked about is that we got a lot of stuff going on right now over the summer. That some of it's normal. I mean, we've got obviously all of our cleaning and things like that. So thank you to the custodial staff and the maintenance staff for everything they are doing. But then you have the things that are going on that are not so normal, like the installation of all these ViewSonic boards, which while exciting and it can be great for our teachers, it takes a multitude of work to get them up there. So once again, thanks to our maintenance crew for helping with that. Obviously, we have an installation crew that we paid for that's doing a lot of that, but maintenance still has to be there to help on a lot of it. So thanks for that. And just thank you to all the teachers that took part in the ViewSonic training last week, and all those that will still take part in it, because we have some recorded sessions that are coming for people that couldn't make it. So I want to say thanks for that. We have some more training that's going to take place in July. So just a lot of stuff going on, and just thank everybody for taking part in all of that. One last thing, and then I'll be quiet. I want everybody to know that hopefully this week I'm going to have a draft plan. Once again, I say draft plan of what our fall reopening plan will look like for schools come this fall. So I hope to have that plan out public in draft form only this week. The board and I have discussed what some of those things might look like for coming back to school. Obviously, we want to get back to as normal as possible while still following guidelines that we have to follow. So I'll have a draft plan out hopefully this week that will be on the website, possibly Facebook, places like that where people can get to it so they can take a look at it and see what they think. So hopefully have that out this week. That's all I have.
Scott?
Nope.
Heather? Sharon? All right. It's recommended that the meeting be adjourned at 8:09. Have a motion for that? Mike Adams. Second. Heather Hudson. All those in favor? Passed 5-0.
Thanks everybody for coming.